Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 21 of Let's Play Tyranny Gold Edition. It's, in the last part, I can't actually remember what the fuck we did. Ah, yes, we went to the Blade Grade and had fun. I think probably the best way to put it. And in this part, we need to read a missive, and we need to find a shop. Greetings, fatebinder, Kyros, 32nd Legion, the Soldier Salutes. Glad to see Tunon's agent Grace Heath, whatever. Ash's troop has no lack of order, but a servant of the court is always welcome. I've seen you since you duel with the Apex Queen. I haven't seen you since you duel with the Apex Queen. It was a close fight, but in the end, you impressed us all with when you ran her through. Between our missing commanders and a Scarlet Chorus lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I can spare a moment for conversation. Okay, you're not the shop. Suddenly don't give a shit about that anymore. The shop must be up here then. We'll read the missive in a minute because it's going to be a long ass missive. It's not you, it's him. He's got the fucking shop behind him, it's obvious. Even though you're not a fully fledged disfavored recruit, I've been authorized to grant you purchasing rights from our store, within certain limits of course. Would you like to see what we have to offer? Show me your wares. Right, so he has a disfavored iron sword, binding oath. Is that a spear? Is that a knife? That's a knife. It has the ability Martyr. It's a one-hand thrown weapon. Okay, doesn't matter. It's not really for us. Citadel of Stone. Well, we're definitely going to need that. Don't have the money for it, though. Well, something tells me we're going to have the money for it. It's not after a while. There we go. Should cover it. Yep, more than covered it. Now we just need to learn that. So, stone. Got the stone spike, which we can make bleed. Yeah, we'll make that bleeding. Wait, well, piercing or bleed. We'll go with bleeding. Of course, we'll make it more powerful, longer range. Can make it go for a bigger radius, but 90 is a bit too out of my reach. 75 is the best I can do, so we'll sign that for now. Right, so let's look at Kyros. Gonna put it right there. Sweet. So we've now got a few more spells. Let's go talk to Ash, and then we'll do the missive last. I think that's a good way to go about it. Fatebinder, is good of you to report in. These days it is difficult to judge friend from foe. I am pleased to recognize you as the former of the two. Ash favors you with a curt nod. I see you brought the voice of that spying whore to my doorstep. Lest you think me amused by your irresponsible conduct. Know that I am not. Verse is useful ally. I need her on my side. At least until we get rid of each other. Don't worry, old man. I'm not going to drive a blade into your spine. Not while you're wearing a breastplate as thick as the old walls, anyway. Gravenash glares at Verse and returns his severe expression back to you. His mouth is set to a disapproving line, and he seems on the brink of saying more, but waves off the matter. After what transpired at Vendrian's Well, the disfavored must hold fast to our allies. You are here because of your support at the siege, but I don't just mistake your confidence for devotion. The Scarlet Chorus would not have you. Tunon is my master. Well, yeah, Tunon is my master, and he stands above your petty squabbles. If he stood above them, then he could well see enough how the voice of Narat has conspired against our forces since the beginning. No, for all his claims of objectivity, I have my suspicions about that your adjudicator is compromised by this war as any of us. What is you require? My search for Amelia takes me to Rust Canyons. I am pleased to hear of your progress. Rust Canyon was one of our once a verdant pass for travellers, and one of many choke points on the way to Sentinel Stand. Now it's merely a garbage heap infested by rebellion. I confirmed Emilia's unit was taken by Stratus Herodin's troops. Damn that corrupt inbred of a regent. If his death was not required to end the Edict of Storms, I would take pleasure in breaking him on the rack myself. I was devastated when Emilia's cohort vanished. A father's dread is not so different from a general's, and in my case, I am twice cursed to suffer the pain of her absence. I still feel her presence. It's grown stronger even, so now I know she lives, but I fear for her safety all the same. The Unbroken are seeking artifacts. That does make sense. With no means to kill Stratus Herodin from outside of Sentinel Stand, the only chance of breaching the wall would be through an artifact's power. The trouble is, the number of artifacts scattered about the realms is anybody's guess, and I couldn't tell you which one of them could get the job done. If these rebels are committed to the task, it's possible they know something more. I believe it was the custom of each regent to travel with some artifact in their possession. With all but one of their polluted bloodline killed during the conquest, the Unbroken are likely seeking a corpse among thousands. A fool's errand, but not an ignoble one. The Unbroken leader is named Matthias. I have not come across his name, but yours is the most recent intelligence we've dredged from the region, so I can believe that it's true. Whatever he calls himself, this upstart should be killed to set an example for his would-be army. Should you come across him, I expect his head to topple from his shoulders in good order. I received word that my disfavored have cleared a path to Rust Canyons that should prevent any rebels from entering or leaving the area. You should make contact with Theodore and the lieutenant in charge of the attack. He will guide you from there. Alright, that's where we're going. And we've got the Death from Above ability reverse, which is actually a really good one damage ability, like a one target ability damage. So pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna get out. Let's read the thing from fatebinder Mythios. Salutations, Galerius. It is difficult to separate fact from superstition when it comes to the edicts, as it seems only Kyros knows how it all works, and the rest of us are left to live and fear and ponder it all. Kyros edicts are a sort of magic above and beyond even the Archons. I dare say the edicts are stronger than Kyros, as there is no evidence Kyros can willingly stop an edict once it's set into motion, which is, in part, why Kyros' edicts seem to have an until or unless clause in their wording. I know the edict, as powerful as it is, requires a human voice to complete the casting, thus the Overlord has people like you proclaim edicts cast far from the Imperial throne. The magic is Kyros' magic, but the human voice is the final carrier or trigger to complete the magic phenomenon. And here's what's most fascinating, at least as far as you're concerned. There have been dozens of mortal agents who have been made to proclaim edicts. 2/3 of them die within a decade, and many give reports of lingering mystic scars from the ordeal. And there have also been a handful to resolve or break an edict. These until-unless clauses get fulfilled from time to time, and we've seen a familiar pattern in history. Those who resolve an edict often live short lives, and many speak of arcane side effects of the shattered edicts. Here's where you're unique. To the best of my fact-finding, you are the first to proclaim and break the same edict. Whatever mystical power is involved in the creation and destruction of such magics, you're the first to stand at the terminus of both. Now that I know the spires can be awoken, it makes sense that if anything can or would wake them from slumber, a shattered edict seems to be like the culprit. Kyros has other edicts in place throughout the tiers. If you truly wish to learn more, perhaps you should take it upon yourself to shatter those edicts. After all, if Kyros did wish for the edicts to be broken, did not wish for the edicts to be broken, why include a termination clause? So we're going to solicit her advice. Dear Mythios, I appreciate the information. Thank you for sharing. Knowing what you know of my situation, what would you do? There we go. Alright, let's get ourselves to where we need to go now, which is the Rust Canyons. I mean, we've still got to do this, and we've still got the Weight of Aegis, which is still the same as our main thing. Could probably upgrade my main weapon a little bit more. Yeah, Barak still does more damage than me because he's a cunt, but what can you do? I keep forgetting that pause of the game. Right, let's just get ourselves ready to go. And we'll set ourselves off. Right. Ooh. Ah, yes, the secluded forge that we need to go to. We'll go there soon, but for now, Rust Canyons. Alright.
Bronze scrap is all that's left of the unbroken caught in the storm. Where you see iron, disfavored that died with them.
An unbroken soldier struggles to rise to his feet. One arrow lodged in his shoulder, the other in his thigh. He attempts to stand, but his muscles are too weak from the task. I'm going to watch this unfold. The soldier lacks the strength, but none of the conviction as he fights to move in spite of his wounds. He is powerless to scramble away as a disfavored officer approaches from the west. A disfavored soldier calmly approaches from the west. He regards the vulnerable southerner with a curled lip and disapproving shake of his head. Weak and broken. Prisoners make for poor sport. Your escape was spirited, but damned foolish. He raises his sword and points it at the unbroken man's heart, poised to let it plunge into and impale him and to the filth-strewn ground. Observe with detached interest. In one swift motion, he plunges the sword into the man's heart, pinning the fallen soldier to the rusted earth. The disfavored soldier turns to the unbroken camp, frustration evident in his tone. Then his gaze shifts over to you, and back to the walls. I have reinforcements now, Elia. If you open the gate, I can still make this easy on you. He passes you a knowing glance, suggesting he's lying and proud of it. You see a woman stride purposefully into view atop a platform along the wall's edge. She lifts a spear and hurls it at Theodore, cursing under her breath when it breaks against the rocks. I am so fucking tired of listening to you. Go shriek at someone else's fortress for a change, and stop trying to impress me by hunting down unarmed prisoners. Maybe the ladies of the north get chivy over your bravado, but all it tells me is that your codpiece is emptier than your skull. I'm gonna glare silently. Make no mistake, Ilya. You would be better served as my camp slave than as my enemy. Such a good waste of potential. He tips his head to the west. Fatebinder, let's consult when you have a moment. Well, I must admit it has been a while since I've done this part of the game, so I'm finally into stuff that I don't remember. So that's good. How good's this helmet? It's heavy and it's bronze. Get rid of that. Is this bow better? It's it looks cooler, so yeah, we'll give you that. So as usual, keep away from the fort and talk to our contact.
Can't do that.
What's this? Is it heavy? Oh, it's light armor, but yeah, it's not really anything we should wear. So let's just ignore it. The lieutenant holds up his sword and squints through the obscurity of the high winds. Who goes there? Oh, it's you, Fatebinder. I wish you didn't have to witness that crude exchange before. Elia and her lot have caused me to no lack of trouble. His manner softens. You are most welcome here, even if your loyalties fall with the court more than the Legion. We need all the help we can get. Ashton were to expect you. If you dispatch an outsider to help us in the field, that says something about his urgency to see these unbroken conquered for good. I think we can both appreciate that his interest in seeing this matter resolved is of a personal nature. He catches himself. I apologize for that outsider remark. Some of us aren't accustomed to working with anyone but the Legion proper. You're speaking with I'm just going to say nothing. During the conquest, I remember hearing about a silent fatebinder who travelled just ahead of my cohort. Never put the piece together that it was you. Ash says the Unbroken are scavenging the Blade Grave for an old stalwart heirloom. I can figure nothing else that would help us breach Sentinel Stand, short for the Regent's timely death. They're not making it easy by holding themselves up behind walls. If the conquest is any evidence, stalwart folk are less inclined towards facing their enemies in open battle. The Tearsmen are like rats, squeezing themselves behind the narrowest walls to avoid the inevitable. No matter what they find here, the Unbroken are trapped. North of camp, we have soldiers led by my subordinate, Jacomus. To the south, reinforcements march as we speak. He taps his chin and forward. Still, I would appreciate any help you can offer. The sooner we can claim the Unbroken artifact, the sooner we can reach Sentinel Stand. This hardly looks like a territory worth defending, or taking, or defending. Well, the search for artifacts certainly changed how we view this garbage pit. In truth, Rust Canyons presents us with some strategic advantages. Our location brushes shoulders with the Iron Heath and Duskwatch Fort. If we could claim this spot for the disfavored, that would be as good as controlling the whole region. Kind of. Sentinel Stand is still the real prize of the Blade Grave. I'm ready to hear how I can contribute. My men are eager for battle, and we wouldn't mind taking the broken camp in advance of our reinforcements. He glances to his countrymen with a smile. That'll show the old 15 Coa, eh, boys? You may want to clear out a group of Unbroken by the bridge to the southeast. They guard another entrance to the camp. Some of our men are being held captive there too, and we need the extra numbers on our side to hold these canyons. Now, strictly speaking, my orders are to wait for reinforcements, so I can't directly assist you. But once we secure the camp, you get first pick of the spoils and a chance to interrogate their leader, Elia. Deal? I'm here for my own reasons, but I'll help you if it gets me closer to the Sentinel stand. Huh. I did think I'd have to convince an agent of Tunon that actually fighting this war was in his best interest, but live and learn. I'll take your help even if I don't have your enthusiasm. Make for the base bridge and I'll take out the Tier's rats. That'll put a worthy dent in this encampment. First things first.
See that pen over there? The prisoners within are dressed in Unbroken colors.
Congratulations, Barrack. You have eyes. That's just what I thought to. Need some cast-off iron, maybe a few teeth and necklace for your special someone. The merchant drops one of her many satchels to the ground and pulls from it numerous tools and trinkets. The scavengers do the gathering, then I take it from them. Profitable work if you can manage it. Pillaged iron, scavenged bones. There are laws governing mercantile wares, and you're conveniently ignoring them. Something flashes in her eye and her voice lowers. If the disfavored are so well off that they can ignore my wares, they're free to do so. As it is, Kyros' army needs all the help they can get, and a friend of means is a friend indeed. If some misplaced morals stand in your way, feel free to buy elsewhere. Very well, show me what you have. That's the spirit. Come and take a look. Got Blonde's dagger, heart finder, which is just accurate, so it's nothing special. Yeah. None of these are really anything interesting, so I'm just going to ignore her. Right, let's get ourselves...
Sorry, I can't.
I don't know exactly where he wants me to attack, but... Let's get up here.
Sorry, I can't.
Gonna guess there. I'm just gonna go this way.
Can't do that.
Okay, we can't go that way.
Can't do that.
We can't get up there. Something tells me going in the front door isn't an option.
Seems others have tried to take this fort and failed. Repeatedly.
And some new gloves. We'll put those there for now. The Unbroken captain looks down from the elevated platform, resting a heavy boot on the top of the axe, buried in the wooden slats. She grips its handle as you approach. What do we have here? Her expression twists with sudden recognition. Aren't you the one who fucked over Agathon at Duskwatch? We have nothing to say to one another. Either you're Graven Ash's favourite comfort soldier, or you'd just like to see honest folk die. Either way, you're a pile of beast shit to me. No matter what happens here, the Unbroken will take back Sentinel Stand and banish all you northern Pristroughs from the tiers. I'd rather die than see Starwood under Kyros' sigil. You can't imagine what I'd do to avoid it. The Unbroken stand in defiance of Kyros' rule. My presence should come as no surprise. Clueless, a lapdog. Elias spits. Of course I expected Kyros to dispatch someone eventually. The Overlord isn't in the habit of making appearances. He seems smart enough to realize that the Overlord's wrath kills servant and foe alike. Why aren't you smart enough to do anything about it? It's a mystery to me. Do you truly believe that you can win? I may die today, and Starwalk may remain a wasteland for another generation, but our people will remember. That memory will awaken a thirst only quenched by your Overlord's blood. That hope is enough to keep me standing in defiance. Can I win? Probably not. Can Starwalt? Absolutely. I hear you looking for artifacts. Found any? Yeah, your mother's pizzle cane. Elias slaps a knee and peers down at you with a grin. You're on the wrong side of this war to be asking me anything. This camp will fall today. Surrender to me, or sentence your soldiers to death. Your threat is of no consequence. I'm willing to die for our cause, and have no delusion of my importance. Whether I fall today or 10 seasons from now, our nation will live on. I already know that the disfavored are looking for the artifacts of Starwold. I already know that they're researching blind. I'll take my knowledge to the grave if it keeps you out of Sentinel Stand. You can count on that. Elia whistles to her men, a warning sigil of impending attack. She stares at you, silent and ready. I didn't come to negotiate anyway. At least you're setting the right expectation, which is all that counts. Alien motions to her, soldiers beneath her. Kill him.
Come on.
Well, it's time to use some of my new magic.
Got it.
Great meat.
Honestly, did not see any damage come of that.
dark
Holy
all of a
shit! Verse just got decked. Like she was nothing. And what the fuck is going on here?
We can do this.
I need to try a different weapon.
Did all this blood?
I do not know what just the fuck happened, ladies and gentlemen, but this guy is fucking mental. Verse, heal. Good verse.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
can't.
whatever the fuck this guy's made of, he's made of fucking steel or some shit.
Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth.
Yeah, if I'm gonna use a spell, I may as well use a spell. I might as well use something I know that does damage. Let's do some drain strength. That cunt was able to get some heal in done. Right, if this is how they fight, we are fucked. Like, holy shit. He hits in AoEs. That's the problem.
Stalwart prevails!
Well,
My blood
this is an issue.
Graven Ash protects.
Holy shit, this guy does way too much damage. There we go. Luckily, Barrack ain't shit. But at the same time, rest. That was not what I expected, I must admit. I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful next time. But in the next part, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be careful in the next part. See you guys then.